today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Tyrod and the Houston Texans taking on Carson, Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Colts offense ready to go here for the first time. And the former Philadelphia Eagle turned Indianapolis Colt, Carson Wentz, set to take over here at the controls in his first year in Indianapolis.
And Carson Wentz made the move from Philadelphia to Indianapolis back in mid-February. And although his last season as an Eagle, not one that he wants to remember, he's now reunited with his former offensive coordinator and current Colts head coach Frank Reich, and gets to play behind one of the best offensive lines in football. A great place to resurrect his career.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. Broken tackle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, 3rd most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
Working with his 2nd and 4. Wentz. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Wentz's throw taken in by Pascal. And the Colts are going to be set up with a first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Wentz to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second and goal from inside the 5. A carry here for the big tight end. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Desmond King now to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the Texans set to take over on offense, and we see them led out by their veteran quarterback in his 11th season in the NFL, but first in the Lone Star State, Tyrod Taylor.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Taylor. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Taylor. They'll roll him out right. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
The Texans' new punter for 2021, Cameron Johnston, on to punt. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On play action, it's Wentz. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Wentz. This to Hines on the drop-off. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Wentz now on 1st down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. after one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So still 14 yards to go, second down. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz. The toss here completed to Pittman. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out third and long.
On third down, here's Taylor. Shreds the tackle, continuing to fight for more. And the Colts are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
One receiver left is Hilton. To throw, it's Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Partner, it's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defense has only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Got a man, it's Pittman, and he holds it in for the Colts touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Colts are able to grow their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14. Texans, nothing.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Desmond King on the return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here's Johnson going to get the handoff. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second and 5 now. Taylor hit. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On first down, it's Taylor, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, Taylor. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Wentz now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Badgley able to knock this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, here's King. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Taylor now to throw on third down. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
That's a big conversion there on third down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Caught here by Conley. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Again, it's Taylor. He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Amendola has it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw again is Taylor. Forced out to his left. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or 2 short. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Here we go with Johnson. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From the gun, it's Taylor. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. DeForest Buckner able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Tyrod Fairbairn on for the field goal. A 38-yard attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. He was brought down by Malik Collins. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. To return it now, here's King.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Now Taylor. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Taylor. That's complete to the tight end, Akins. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Taylor. They'll check this down to Johnson. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. And this returnable for Hines. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. Taken in by Pascal out left. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 45-yard line.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. A give for Taylor running right side.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Shotgun now for Wentz.
The pass underneath. Here's Hines with it. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
On play action, Wentz. And the catch made by Hilton. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, down at the 33. On the counter, it's Taylor, working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run once more with Taylor, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, it's Taylor, and he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Badgley's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So just 3 points there, but that important in the grand scheme of things as it's now a 3-score lead.
And to now, the other guys haven't shown that they can do anything offensively, so just take the points, keep adding that cushion, and let your defense win you the football game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. Houston set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Taylor to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Taylor to throw. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing again on second down. Taylor
Out to the flat here for Johnson.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now Taylor on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 3 yards the gain there, second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 7.
Here's Taylor. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again, it's Taylor. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Taylor. And incomplete on the deep ball. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot at it that time, but neither coming away with it.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
Indy set to go on offense once more.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Wentz going to run with it.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
On third down, Taylor. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandin Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long from Houston.